You'll be leaving us. It's okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
I can't say that this movie is scary, but the intrigue starts at the very beginning and proceeds throughout the entire runtime of the film. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, based off the real-life case of Elise Michel. And to me at least, this is less of a horror and more of a courtroom drama, with a heavy horror influence of course. And the real-life events are bleak. What is considered fact in those events are based on or influenced by personal feelings and opinions. And I think the movie captures that perfectly with first-hand accounts, interviews, and the beliefs of the people arguing for or against the victim in the case. When I think about it, I don't know if the movie has taken a personal stance, as it does represent the case through a fantastical or spiritual lens. It does give you the option to make up your own mind about it, as the witnesses and professionals are questioned and criticized in regards to their own testimonies. And when I really sit with it, it occurs to me that the jury in the movie could actually be representing us as the audience. We're watching this entire case unfold from multiple perspectives, and are left, like the jury, to weigh the evidence and decide what we believe actually happened. That subtle parallel may be intentional, and it reinforces that the film isn't trying to tell you what's real, but to challenge what you're willing to believe. And that's where I give the movie a lot more credit than other films based off true life events surrounding the subject of possession and exorcism. Emily Rose is a fictional person who is a representation of the real girl who was suffering through horrific visions, hallucinations, and mental and physical deterioration. And we are given examples of those disorders through an outside and inside perspective, one of which being through the experience of Emily Rose herself, and then again through a spectator's eyes. And that's when one of my favorite aspects of the film comes into play. The way the movie plays with lighting between shots and scenes of Emily's point of view, the witness, and even her family, going from a gothic atmosphere, which contributes to a sense of unease, then to a distorted and muted color palette to reflect the seriousness of the courtroom scenes. If you're someone who considers yourself a skeptic, this movie will speak to you in a way I believe it was intended, to evoke doubt and introspection. The film is just as much about ambiguity as it is faith. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, or rather, the case of Annalise Michel, is a fascinating and disturbing story. When you see the real-life images and hear the audio recordings, coupled with the first-hand accounts of what was said to have occurred, it's easy for someone's brain to jump to the conclusion that this is a supernatural or spiritual event, considering most of us were raised with those beliefs growing up. Whether we broke away from those teachings or not, it's a powerful thing to escape, especially when it's instilled in your brain at such a young age. But on the other hand, much of what Annalise Michel experienced, as it was presented to us in the movie, could be and was explained through science and medicine. And as I dive deeper into the subject more than I ever have before, beyond the videos on the internet, I find it even more interesting, the parts that I haven't heard about before. Amongst all the supposed demons that were possessing Annalise Michel, there were three that stood out to me the most. One being a disgraced priest from the 16th century, who may or may not have existed. Another was Nero, the emperor of Rome from 54 AD to 68 AD, and Adolf Hitler himself. And yes, this is true, believe it or not. This was confirmed by Annalise Michel herself and the priest, the same priest that faced trial for her death. None of these figures are referenced to directly in the film, and I'm left wondering why. Maybe it could have swayed opinion more in one direction than the other. Or maybe it would have taken away from the spectacle of a Hollywood horror film. But no matter what you believe, at the heart of this story was a young woman suffering deeply, caught in a struggle between mental illness and her faith.